Leonardo da Vinci once said that time waits just long enough for those who use it. So the question is, what are you doing with your time? We all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your time? Are you building your dream? Or are you helping someone else build theirs? Are you putting in the work every single day, every single moment of now? Are you planning for your future? They say planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. So the question is this: what are you doing with your time? Remember, the time is always now.
Thank you for joining me for the Time Is Always Now podcast. This is the podcast that's dedicated to helping people get past their excuses, helping people say, I'm not going to do it someday or one day, I'm going to do it right here, right now, because that's the only time we have. If you don't know who I am, my name is Terence Young. I go by TY, and I am a New Thought transformational speaker, a mindset coach, an author, a runner, a certified personal trainer. I help people get past their paradigms, break down their paradigms, and stop saying they're going to do it someday or one day, and start harnessing the power in the eternal moment of now. So thank you for joining me for this episode of the Time Is Always Now podcast. Hey, if you want to donate to the podcast, by all means you can do so just by going to my website. It is terenceyoungnow.com, and I appreciate that in advance. Thank you for that, because I want as many people as possible to be able to get these messages of hope, of inspiration, of encouragement, to challenge people to not wait for someday or one day to change their lives, and understand that they can do it right here, right now. Hey, if you haven't joined us over on Facebook, we have a Facebook group. It's the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. It's a group of like-minded people. We all are learning how to change our lives for the better right here, right now. And we understand we can't do everything right now, but we can do something right now. And whatever that is, we do that. We don't wait for the right time or all the perfect circumstances. So if you haven't joined us over there, by all means, join us in the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. This podcast, so every week we have some type of theme that we're talking about, and I was talking about this week about going to inspiration, not waiting. Going to inspiration or going to motivation, not waiting for it to come to you. So I'm going to share some ideas today that you can use in your life, tangibly use in your life right now, to learn how to not wait on inspiration, because you'll be waiting forever, and start moving aggressively towards your goals, where you learn how to gather that inspiration as you're moving forward. And that's the way the universe works. When you learn that, it's a powerful, powerful thing. So a couple of quotes I'm going to share with you today. The first one is this: when you wait for inspiration, you are pausing on your greatness. I'll say that one again. When you wait for inspiration, you're pausing on your own greatness. That is so powerful. When you wait for the right circumstances to happen before you get inspired to do something, you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting all your life. You're always going to be waiting and say, I don't feel like doing it today. You're never going to feel like doing it. You're never going to feel like doing it. But here's the beautiful thing: when you move towards that thing that you want to do, then you will get the inspiration. Right? I do this with running. With riding my bike. I get up in the morning, sometimes I don't feel like running. I don't feel like working out, doing those Camp Gladiator workouts that I've been doing. I'm a certified personal trainer now, and I'm going to be opening my camps in Lutz in January. And sometimes we have 5 a.m. workouts, right? I don't always feel like getting up at 5 a.m. But you know what? Once I start doing it, I feel good. And then after it's over at 6 a.m., I feel great. It's amazing what can happen when you go to the inspiration. Even though when I'm in my car driving to that 5 a.m. workout at 4:45 in the morning, I don't feel so good. I think people think that too. They think they see someone like me, maybe I'm high energy, maybe I am to you, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But they'll see someone like me and think, oh, you always are like that. No, I'm not. I'm not always like that. I'm not up at 4:45 every morning either. But what I've recognized is if I just go, if I just start the workout, I feel so much better. Now, how can you help with that? Get yourself an accountability partner. Get someone else that'll be your accountability partner. If you have trouble motivating yourself in that way, to get up and go work out, get up and go exercise, because I believe it's so important that we exercise our bodies, our minds. I believe it's all encompassing, mind, body, and spirit. That's what I truly believe. Get an accountability partner. Many of us struggle with motivating ourselves. The world would be different if everyone could like snap a finger and motivate themselves, but it doesn't work that way. I know this. But you know what helps? Get someone else to motivate you. It kind of is the same. When I'm going to that Camp Gladiator workout at 5 o'clock in the morning, yes, I do have to get out of bed by myself at this point. But when I go, there's other people there, and you get motivated because there's someone right next to you doing it too, and you're like, well, I don't want them to beat me, and it gets you motivated. So you got to be able to self-motivate yourself, and one of the ways you can help is get yourself an accountability partner. Have someone else going to show up there wherever you're going with you, so if you don't show up, you left them hanging. And then it makes you feel like, wow, I gotta go. I know it's a psychological trick on yourself, but it works. You're never going to feel like it. So go to the inspiration. Go to that thing that you know, what you know is going to help you, and then go do it. And you will start to feel better after you do it. Second thing I'm going to share with you today, it's powerful. Inspiration is getting in spirit. I shared this on I think my Wonderful Wednesday. Inspiration is in spirit. That means, how do you get inspired? You get in alignment with the Spirit of God that lives within you. I don't care if you don't call it God. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it universe, all-knowing being, earth, Mother Earth. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't get caught up in those religious dogma stuff. I happen to say God, or sometimes I'll say universe, but whatever you want to call it. Get in spirit. Get in alignment with that. You want to be inspired. Get in alignment with the Spirit that lives within you. Well, that is all encompassing. That means all of the universe. We are made of the things and the stuff that make up the stars and the moon and the sun. We're all made of all of that. Get into connection with that, and it will inspire you. It will inspire you. How do you do that? Go inside. Go inside. Talk to that I am, that spirit that lives within you, and recognize your power. Maybe you need to go outside to the beach, or maybe on a mountain somewhere, and where it's quiet, and just get into nature. Maybe it's out into nature somewhere in the woods, and just pause for a minute. Pause for a minute and let the silence seep in. And feel your connection to all that is. We're connected to the sun, the moon, the stars, the grass, the trees. We're all here living, literally living, right? The trees are living, the grass is living, the insects are living, everything. We're all connected. We're all intertwined, and we need each other. Learn how powerful that is. We're connected. And let that inspire you. Get inspired by the fact that you are a part of all that is. And let that inspiration drive you forward. If you don't know where your inspiration is coming from, go back inside and say, I'm connected to all of this. I'm not a drop in the ocean. I'm the ocean in a drop. That's a quote. Rumi said that, and he's so true. We are not just a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean in a drop. If that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what is. You are all of this. Let that inspire you. Let that drive you. Let that push you forward and go to the inspiration and go do what you were put here to do. Last one is this. Motivation is a mindset. Motivation is a mindset. It's all about how can you change your mindset. I tell you, when I was a basketball player at Hillsborough Community College and Mercer University, it was always a motivation for me to get up and go play, and it was a mindset. And I remember in high school, even in high school back in Brandon, before it was a championship game, and I remember someone coming in. I didn't know all this stuff then. I was 17 years old, and they handed us this pack of papers, the whole team. And what basically what it was a motivational speech to get us to go out there and get fired up. And it just had us change our mindset right there about you're capable and you can do it, and are you willing to do what it takes? I didn't know what this all meant at the time, but what they were doing was they were changing, or at least attempting to change our mindset before we walked out on the floor. And I remember I was pumped up before that game too, after reading that thing. Now, years later, I recognized what they were doing. They were changing our mindset before we get on the floor. And then I've used that now. I do it now myself. I pump myself up. And I was listening to a video just the other day, and someone said, listen to your own self if you need to. Like, I'm a motivational speaker. I listen to other people. You know what? Sometimes I just listen to myself. I can motivate myself. Sometimes you got to do that. Now, if you're not that, if you're the opposite end and you're negative all the time, don't listen to yourself. Don't do that. Don't listen to yourself. But if you are someone that's motivating and positive, motivate yourself. It's a mindset. And it's so quick. You can change that mindset like that. And it's powerful when you go out into the world and you recognize that you are creating your reality. I teach this all the time. Oh, I get so excited when I just start talking about it. You can change your mindset. I teach this just the other day. I was talking about it too. I teach this. How do you change that mindset to get yourself out of negativity into positivity? Get yourself to the feeling of where you're going to be after you do what you need to do, whatever it is. If you're writing a book, get yourself to the feeling of what it's going to feel like when you hold that book in your hands. So every time you get up, start to write or start to type, and you say you don't feel like it, get your mind on how you're going to feel when you're standing behind your table at the back of the room and you've got hundreds of people standing there wanting you to sign your book. I've done that. I've literally wrote a book. I've literally had maybe not hundreds, but lots of people, right? 50, 60 people standing in line for me to sign my book. It's powerful, right? If you're in that situation and you don't feel like it, you're not motivated, get your mindset to what it's going to feel like when you're doing it. Get your mindset to what it's going to feel like when you're on stage and you say, I have my book right here. I'm talking about something in my book and I'm going to be in the back sharing with you. You can come back there and get a copy of it. Or my book's on Amazon. And I'm just using that as an example. Whatever it is, if it's getting up to go work out in the morning, just like I said earlier, how you're going to feel after you're done. Oh, everyone knows it. It's the act of actually getting there that's so hard. You know you're going to feel better once you do it. That's the exercise releases endorphins in the mind and make your body feel better. We already know that. That is a fact. It's getting out of bed and going. One of the greatest quotes is the hardest step is the first one out of the bed to go get your workout in. Just getting out of bed. Mindset. Motivation is a mindset. And when you learn how to change your mindset, I'm going to go over this again. Get your mindset into thinking, how am I going to feel when I completed this? Bring that into your present, right? They say planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. Bring your mindset to how you're going to feel. You got to get in that vibration of how you're going to feel when you do that thing, when you complete this project, whatever it is for you. You got to get that vibration and that feeling right now. And if you get that vibration, that feeling right now, boom, motivation happens, inspiration happens. It's all there for you. Motivation is a mindset. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for inspiration. Move towards it. And you will see inspiration and motivation all throughout your life, and you'll be able to express it over and over again in every single moment of now. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Time Is Always Now podcast. I appreciate you joining me. If you do these things we talked about today, understand that inspiration, you move towards it. Understand that motivation is a mindset. You can change that mindset. If you do that, you will be able to unequivocally say, I own the now and I have won. So thank you again for joining me. Share this podcast with your friends, your family. Share it with your neighbors. I don't care. Share it on social media. I want everybody to be able to get these messages of hope, of inspiration, of encouragement. Go to that inspiration. Don't wait for it. Understand that motivation is a mindset, and understand that you can change your mindset like that. Oh, it's so powerful when you can do it. So thank you for joining me again. I appreciate you being a part of this community and listening and sharing this podcast. With that, I'm going to sign off. My name is T.Y. Remember, the time is always now.